Hi, my name is Yu. I have Yanren and Iris as my co-workers. We're here to introduce our cloud architecture solution for you. Before that, we should explain due to the lab restrictions, we're not able to access the California, US West 1 region. So this present will show on Virginia, and IEM will also not show in this architecture. First, we're using the US West region based on the need of Go Green. The users from the other two regions will use CloudFront and Route 53 to connect. We isolated the public subnet tier from the traditional three private subnets tier for this infrastructure. The meaning of this is protect the web tier, and we use NAT instance to connect it together. Also, we use elastic load balancer and auto-scaling group for web tier and application tier. This can make our design more available. Go Green do not have to worry about the rush time. For the database, we're using the AWS RDS as database. For the VPC, due to the restriction, we're using US East 1 for our VPC in the presentation. Based on the Go Green situation, US West 1 is the best option. We can see the VPC here. Based on our architecture design, we have three subnets: web, app, and DB. Each tier has one subnet. Web, app, DB are all for the private. And for the redundancy concern, we have three more subnets for each tier in different availability zone. So as we can see from the table. Additionally, we have two publics, like public subnet 01 and public subnet 02. These two public subnets for Bastion host and NAT instance. We have 8 subnets in total. If there's no internet gateway, VPC will lose internet access. In here, we create one internet gateway to make sure good connections. As we can see from the screen, we have 3 route tables. Each route in a table specifies a destination and a target. We have 1 for public and 2 for private for different availability zone. The public route has the internet gateway. And others, like private 01, has an NAT instance target. Next, we have NACL and security groups. NACL is similar to security group. It controls all inbound and outbound traffic at the subnet level, providing more security for VPC. For security groups, we have 1 security group for each tier. The first tier, we have NATSG, Web ELBSG, and Bastion Host SG. For the Web SG, it allows HTTP and HTTPS, which is providing a web page format to the visitors. For App SG, it allows port 80 to communication to handle web tier. For DBSG, it allows TCP 3306 from the app tier.
According to the requirements of Go Green Company, we made the architecture into 3 tiers. The idea is that the public layer acts as a shell to the private layers. Anything in the public tier is publicly accessible, but stuff in the private tier is only accessible from inside of the network. As you can see, EC2 will create an AT instance and Bastion host instance. The Bastion host also our web server. Web and application instance were created by auto-scaling using AMI. And in Putty, we can use SSH access the Bastion host. EC2 user, and we can access the Bastion host. Based on the flexible and high availability feature of our cloud architecture, we selected and deployed an elastic load balancer for Go Green Company. Amazon Elastic Load Balancer can automatically distribute inbound traffic from customers to numerous targets in one or more available tools, such as EC2 instances, containers, and IP addresses. It monitors the health of its resistive targets and route traffic only to those in good condition. Elastic Load Balancer automatically scales the customer load balancer capacity in response to changes in bound traffic. We believe this service is a suitable fit for the organization consider growing customer capacity and the company budget considerations. So here are a setting for load balancer. We set up an internal application load balancer that allows web tier to communicate with the application tier, which is installed in private subnets. As you can see, in WebELB, we use CloudWatch to track the details. When Googling needs more capacity than expected, we can use auto-scaling to add additional capacity. We can set up an auto-scaling group to automate the expansion and management. This section allows Googling to employ scaling policy to dynamically raise or decrease the number of instances in group to reflect the changing condition of Googling as it grows. Here are the settings for the auto-scaling group. We recommended that Googling company enable AWS CloudWatch feature. This service allows you to monitor the performance of your application. This service will allow Googling to monitor the development of its business and keep it on track. And we recommended that Googling use this service to adjust its strategy in a timely and efficient manner. And combined with CloudWatch and the simple notification service, Googling company can easily be notified from many AWS sources, final notification to application and application to person destinations. As you can see, we have Amazon S3 buckets with cost-effective storage classes and easy-to-use management features. Googling company can optimize costs, organize data, and configure fine-tuned access controls to meet specific business, organizational, and compliance requirements. As you can see, we have website here. We can open it in our browser.
We set up this service for the Googling as it speed up the distribution of static and dynamic web content to the Europe and the South America service. For the additional service, we use Amazon RDS as our MySQL database. This service is to receive data from the app tier, and it's used standby instance to provide availability and durability. We recommended Googling to have this service as Amazon RDS has automatic backups and database snapshots to help Googling keep data safe and secure. And it's also set up under the Googling VPC. We also recommend Googling to have the cloud form service, as the cloud form service allows users in the other two regions to have low latency and high transfer speeds, all in a developer-friendly environment.
And that is our presentation for Googling's cloud architecture solutions. Thank you for listening.